Today's Sunday, 10:01 p.m., January 25th. Still a cold motherfucker out here in Kansas City. I was on Facebook today listening. Something popped up. You know how stuff just pops up without you even, it's just there and it starts popping up and making noise. This video said, in life, sometimes you spend your whole life dreaming to achieve something. And then once you get it and you think, this is all it is, this is what I've been spending my whole life to get, and this is all it is. It really struck a chord with me. I've thought that myself many times about my college degrees, about, you know, other things in life. And I'll just say that I got my degrees with the experience that I wasn't getting $1 billion hedge fund paycheck when I was 16, and I was trying. I was no different than everybody else, no matter what. So I got no problem with what I say. Absolutely none. It's all full of crap and fraud. I didn't get straight A's. I didn't try to get straight A's, especially after people changed my grade point, made me worse than better. The teachers were teaching crap and fraud with opinionated attitudes and not even worse, worth 1 second of my time. I don't have to, I'm not going to apologize for that, and I'm going to stand by it forever. I know my enemies are going to say I didn't get straight A's, so I'm an idiot. And they're not going to give me a chance to reply. They're going to hit me and run away and hide, and lock me up. Boom, boom, out go the lights. Now, I grew up upper middle class. And my dad belonged to a nice country club, so I spent my whole life there as a kid. I was used to it. And some people might think, really, it's better than jail. It's better than being on the street. You don't appreciate it when you got it. If you've always had it, you just take it for granted. If you lose it, I mean, all the scenarios I've had to put up with was my whole life from people saying shit one way or the other. Like the other day at church, this guy said, sitting next to a lawyer who was in my dad's law firm, McKeechin. Now his family's name is on the school board for Shawnee Mission, and I guess Dad said something to his brother was a doctor. I heard him say different things about people like him, but they were farmers, had a lot of farmland. They donated some to this for the school district. I'm sitting next to him. I just, his wife was my kindergarten teacher. I've heard all kinds of stuff about everybody. But, I sat down at his table. It was empty. He usually has a group of people he sits with, and I don't usually sit with him, and I say hi to him, and he says hi to me or whatever. Seems like when I go in there, he kind of starts following me around sometimes, or what am I doing, or what's this other guy sitting where, was saying something. He didn't go to KU. His daughter went to KU, nursing school. Well, she never went to the campus. She went to KU Med Center in Kansas City for her classes, and one time she went there was for the graduation ceremony, nursing degree. Maybe she went to 2 years at K-State. And then this guy had a degree and some kind of master's degree from Washburn, he said, or something. They were just sitting there. And then he said something about somebody from Cherry Hills is going to get killed. Now, was he talking about Me, Dad bought a house in Cherry Hills, kindergarten, and Mom lived there till she moved out to the nursing home, probably 2 or 3 years before COVID. I went Shawnee Mission South, not Shawnee Mission East. I go to that church just because I've gone there my whole life. I don't know why the hell I go there sometimes. It's just a little part of me, that Prairie Village area that I don't know. I don't know why sometimes I got nothing better to do, go to church. That's what I am, Presbyterian. That's what I want. Went my whole life. My roots are. Guess I do a lot of things because of where my roots are. It hasn't worked out for me, has it? But anyway, I mean, I've been in jail in these stockbroker offices, and if this guy has something to do with it or knows about it and thinks, I think he's the one who's, he's obviously inferior degrees. He's bigger and taller than me, taller, older. If you're going to start killing people, I think you got it backwards. All you people who think you're tough and I'm a pussy, you got it backwards. You're the fucking punks. But of course, they want to fucking kill everybody who thinks they're better than they are because they think it's okay. Then we go back to the smartest man in the room. When you're a room full of enemies, they fuck over their inferiors and disrespect their superiors, and I have to drop a nuke on these idiots, teach them a lesson. And of course, they're going to say I don't respect owners. If they don't respect me, my ownership. But if I don't respect owners, it's just all they do is just fucking do shit, get away with it, and then accuse me of shit, lies, and they get away with it. And if I do anything, they're just going to point out that I did that and ignore everything else after they provoked me. Yeah, they're punks. That's why they owe me $1 trillion, because they're punks. That's why I do this shit, because all the punks. They murdered my real dad because he went to Ivy League schools and I hated him for being better than they are, so they killed him. Everybody just looked the other way and pretended it didn't happen or ignored it or were happy and glad and said, well, it's good for us. I like it better that way. I've heard that shit too. Well, it's not good for me. I'm the one who's supposed to be making $5 billion a year. All the punks are supposed to be fucking punished for their disrespect. So yeah. Once you get someplace, you dream of your whole life, you get it, and then you think this is all it is, this is what it is, this is what happens. See, what happens is I'm supposed to get $1 billion a week paycheck for every week since kindergarten. Now, punks, because you've pushed the buttons and pushed me and disrespected me, so you got to pay the price. Well, Super Bowl set, Seattle won. Rams tried to come back at the end. They don't, it was interesting for the last play. In Denver, 10-7. In Denver, New England won. The over and under was 43, and they only scored 10-7, 17 points total. Wow, what a low scoring game. Is that the lowest scoring game all season in the NFL? I don't know. 10-7, pretty low scoring. New England's going to the Super Bowl. Playing Seattle in San Francisco. Bad Bunny is going to be the entertainment with Green Day, but Trump doesn't like it or something. I don't know. I've heard of Bad Bunny. I guess he's in pro wrestling too. Or maybe MMA fighting too. I don't know. I don't know any of the songs. I mean, if he has some hits, I may have heard them. I just don't know. Green Day, now I've heard of them. I know some of their songs. I like some of their songs. I saw them on TV once and I said, they're so disgusting, gross, faggoty looking that I don't ever want to see these guys. I can't even stand them now that I see them, what they look like. And you know, The music is a separate issue other than what the people look like and their videos. Some people probably attract people with their videos, and they turned me off with their video live performance. I thought they were a bunch of goddamn queer faggot weirdo, fucking gross. Some people don't like me, but big dad used to say, I'm getting throwing jokes, my big ugly nose. Well, I do got these uneven nostrils here. I was saying yesterday or something, a guy on TV, this young guy, a TV announcer, he said, well, he's a TV announcer because, well, he has a perfectly symmetrical face, and he's a clean-cut looking guy. Has a deep voice, talking serious, but he looks younger than his voice. Of course they don't put ugly people on TV. Nobody wants to look at ugly people, do they? Well, maybe that's the way everything is. Nobody wants to look at ugly people. The people in charge, if they don't like what you look like, they can get you thrown in jail and fucked up, and the courthouse and police and judges go along with it. That's the way the law works. That's one thing he used to say, Dad, after college. No, she went to school and found out how the law works, not what the law. Yeah, so sometimes it's just how the law works. They're a bunch of fucking redneck hicks who do whatever the fuck they want. And if they don't like you for whatever reason they bring up in their stupid, incompetent mind, they'll get away and fuck you over and get away with it because they control the law in courthouse. That's one reason I do this, because the whole world needs to know what punks these dumbasses are. Smartest man in the room. Company. One room office of one of the same company isn't the same as the other, and the people are completely different. Well, I'll go to the corporate head. Hell, I can't go into the corporate headquarters of Sprint around here, or Waddell or Reed around here. They have corporate headquarters. I've never got a paycheck in there. Of course, he used to say they used to find dead bodies in the Sprint corporate headquarters, which is now KU Med Center, over on Johnson Drive, Shawnee Mission Parkway on the Kansas side. And all the people create gossip to get somebody they don't like killed or murdered or fucked up or whatever. And, well, that's what happens if you go for the top job and try to be better than everybody else. Well, if I didn't go for the top job and try to be better than everybody else, what would I be? A flunk out of kindergarten? See, that's what these idiots do. They get away with it. They've gotten away with it, and I can't tolerate it. I can't stand it. So Maryland showed me $1 trillion. So does Smith Barney and Payne Weber. So does Purdue and the Wilburs. So does Oklahoma State and IBM. So does Coldwell Banker and Reese Nichols. Local real estate industry. The local stockbroker industry. The local legal industry. They're all fucking punks. Well, I guess Oklahoma State killed Missouri in wrestling this weekend. Missouri's been a pretty good wrestling school. Oklahoma State got a new coach, paid him some money from Penn State. I guess Penn State's still untouchable, but Oklahoma State's on top 5, I guess, top 3. They lost the basketball to Iowa State. Purdue lost basketball to Illinois. Arizona's still undefeated, Big 12, only undefeated team in the country. I'm sure they're going to get some losses in the Big 12. KU's coming alive pretty decent. There's a lot of good Big 12 teams. They're all going to get beat. Hand me the $1 trillion, punks.